Friends, if you are thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you need to hear what I'm about to say. Experts are warning that in the next 6 to 12 months, there could be major disruptions to the housing market, and it's not just happening nationally. Here in the greater Charlotte market, we could see some major shocks too, and if you're not prepared, you could lose big. Now, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I want you to pause right now, because now is the time to have a plan. Because I'm working with clients just like you every single day who are looking to invest in this market, buy a home or sell a home in the greater Charlotte region. And do not wait to give me a call. Reach out via the phone number on the screen in front of you. I would love to help navigate you through your real estate journey, and I cannot wait to make a strategy that fits you and your family's plan for the future. Now, mortgage rates are shifting as well. Rental prices are dropping in some areas, and foreclosures are on the rise. And that's just the beginning. And be sure to stick with me till the end, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what's happening, what's coming next, and how you can protect yourself or even take advantage of the opportunities ahead. Now, let's go ahead and start with the national picture, because what's happening at the national level is probably influencing and is definitely influencing what we're seeing here in Charlotte. So home prices and sales trends. Now, the median sales price for existing homes in the US hit a whopping $396,900 in January 2025. Friends, this is the highest January median on record, according to the National Association of Realtors. However, home sales have slowed down significantly, down 2.5% from the previous month and 4.2% from a year ago. So this is according to Forbes.com. Things are changing a lot. Experts do predict that home prices are going to rise in 2025 by 2%, so it's a good sign. This is going to push the median home price to around $410,000 by year end, which is absolutely insane. In the last 5-10 years, that's gone up a ton. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the thing everyone wants to know: mortgage rates. Let's look at the national picture first. So mortgage rates are currently hovering around 6.9%, and while that is lower than the recent peak, it's going to still price a lot of buyers out of the market. We've seen home prices stay surprisingly strong, but inventory is creeping up slowly. This could signal that sellers are starting to panic a little bit. Wow, that was the sellers panicking, apparently, if you heard that boom. Experts are predicting that mid to late 2025, we could start to see rates dropping a little bit, but here's the catch. If rates drop, demand is going to spike again, pushing prices even higher, of course. So what's the big question? Are we in a bubble, or are we looking at a soft landing? Friends, only time is going to tell. Now, inventory levels are expected to rise by 11.7% in 2025. This, of course, gives buyers like you potentially more options. Also going to lower the leverage side on the selling end. This is also going to lead to some price corrections in certain markets, according to the New York Post. So essentially, I would say we're in this odd balance where rates are high but are cooling demand. Low inventory is keeping prices from crashing, but things could shift a lot once rates start to come down. So we just have to see what happens, and that's what we always have to do with the housing market. We never know exactly what's going to go on. All right, friends, so let's go ahead and start talking about greater Charlotte, North Carolina. And unlike the national market, Charlotte has grown like a weed the last few years. Prices are still up year over year, but we're starting to see a little bit of softening. Inventory is still climbing a bit, and we're starting to see homes sit on the market longer, which could mean that sellers like you are starting to lose some of their leverage, so just be aware. But the good news is, if you're a seller, the average home value in Charlotte is currently sitting at $393,531. It's a big win. This is 0.9% up from last year or a year ago, which is really good. Homes are still appreciating a lot. Sales activity wise, just flipping my notes. Closed home sales in Charlotte were up 7.1% year over year in 2025. This is according to Great Homes in Charlotte. So that's 4 straight months of increased sales activity, even with high mortgage rates, which is just indicative, I would say, of the overall strength of the Charlotte market, which is good. Days on market is the one thing that has changed a ton in the last year or two, because right now it is taking an average of 57 days to sell your home if you list it for sale. And this is up from 42 days at the same time last year, and I think it was at 20 or 30 the year before that. New listings in February 2025 saw a 4% increase compared to last year. More inventory, it means more options for buyers. This is also according to Great Homes in Charlotte. So overall, the experts are saying that Charlotte's market will continue to stay strong through 2025. thanks to continued migration from other states and a strong local job market. And this is according to the luxury playbook. Now, stick with me to the end because I'm going to tell you one move you need to make right now to take advantage of this market before the window closes. So overall, Charlotte is outperforming the national market, but that doesn't mean we're immune from shifts. So make sure to stay alert and be aware, and don't assume we are going to always be strengthened, because you always want to be wise in whether you're buying or selling and timing the market right. Now let's move on to interest rates and affordability trends. Rates are obviously a huge part of your decision to buy or sell a home. Affordability is still one of the biggest challenges right now because of interest rates, and mortgage rates are expected to stay, as I mentioned before, in the 6.5 to 6.9% range through 2025. This is according to Mr. Dave Ramsey, of course. Even though rates are high, affordability does remain an issue. Home prices have not dropped significantly yet. In fact, they are just continuing to rise, even though rates are staying steady. So buyers are having to come up with some bigger down payments or settle for smaller homes to make deals work, which means as sellers, you're in a good place. As buyers, it's a struggle to afford things. But with days on market up, you have more leverage maybe than you did, so you might be able to get a home for a little bit less if it's in a good area and you're able to leverage days on market if it's been sitting there a while. So that's why it's so important before you buy or sell a home. You need to have a strategy in place, especially in a competitive market like Charlotte and really across the country right now in a lot of these bigger trendy metro markets. Now, I want to talk about rental market shifts, and this is a really big topic right now because of how much home prices have risen. A lot of people are turning to renting. That's totally fine. Renting is a good thing if you need to for a season. Rental prices have shifted a lot, and we're seeing a lot of landlords panic as well in parts of Florida and Texas. And I would just be aware. I'm not saying for sure, but Charlotte might not be too far behind some of these states where landlords are panicking. Some rental markets like these are down almost 40%, and that is putting a ton of pressure on investors. So if you own rental properties in Charlotte, you're going to probably want to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Now, nationwide, rents are projected to rise moderately, with single-family homes seeing the largest increase, according to U.S. News. Now, some markets like Florida, for example, have seen rent prices drop by as much as 40%, as I mentioned before, which is crazy. This is mainly due to oversupply, I would say, and increased competition. This is according to Clonifin. Now, Charlotte's rental market. This rental market is where things could get really interesting, I think. Some landlords are already slashing rents to keep tenants in their properties. Others are cashing out entirely. One of my big investors, he's cashing out all of his investment properties, reallocating funds to different markets. He's even thinking about investing in new construction, which is a great market to invest in. Actually, you have less repairs normally you have to do because it's a new home. You're probably going to have tenants that take better care of your property because they're paying more for rent per month. They have a higher security deposit. Generally, your maintenance and overhead costs are a lot less. Your cash flow is higher because it's a brand new home, and your appreciation is better because it is new and it's not an older home. So that's what a lot of investors are doing these days. Actually, one of my partners, he actually has an investor group that I work with as well, and they buy 40 to 50 new construction homes straight from the builder each year, and that's how they build their real estate portfolio. They have like 550 new build properties here in Charlotte, or at least they were new build when they bought them. So going back to the rental market, you just have to be really smart if you're looking to invest. We just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, you just have to be smart about where you're buying and how much you're paying to make sure you're not in the red with your investment properties. Now, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Charlotte is at $1,568. This is up 6% from last year, according to Real Wealth. Some landlords are starting to panic and cut rents here in Charlotte for properties that aren't in as high demand areas. Others are cashing out entirely to avoid further declines, like my investor is. So if you're an investor, this could be your window to buy because you have some leverage. Rents are still strong, but we might see some pressure on pricing later on. All right, folks, so this next part is where things might get shocking for you. And this is why the next 12 months in terms of real estate as a whole is so important. So here's the part that's surprising even experts. Foreclosure activity is starting to pick up, which is not a good sign. And that's just not on a small scale. We're talking about a 20% increase in foreclosures year over year. This could create a flood of distressed properties later this year, which is not a good sign for sellers and property owners. Could be a good idea or opportunity for investors, though, if you're looking to, maybe get in at a lower price. So opportunities for buyers, potential pain for sellers. Another shocking trend are the migration patterns. So people are still flocking to Charlotte from the Northeast and the West Coast. We're even seeing some from the Sun Belt now too, especially Florida, which could create a huge demand spike later this year. And if you've been waiting to buy, this could be your chance to get ahead of that wave. Now, if demand spikes while inventory stays tight, prices are probably going to climb quickly. So we'll just have to see what happens. This is why timing matters so much, because if you're waiting for the market to crash, you're probably going to miss out on the next big buying opportunity. That being said, you want to be wise about when you buy. Of course, there are 2008s, but real estate appreciates. It's always going to come back to where it was, unless we have, a worldwide global meltdown, which I don't think is going to happen, but we'll see. So overall, all of this, what does this mean for buyers, sellers, and investors? So here's the one move you need to make right now. I'll tell you a story. I've had many investors actually that have looked for properties and they've searched the market for months, some even years, looking for the perfect property according to their numbers and everything. And they're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and they're kind of serious about it, but they're not super serious. And all of a sudden, boom, property that is perfect pops up. The numbers are right. They're going to make some money. The appreciation's good. It's in a good area, but they are not ready to buy it. One, they're not pre-approved, meaning they're not ready to make an offer. And by the time they're ready to make an offer, another 10 investors saw how great of a deal this home was, and it's gone. So number one thing I would recommend you do right now, even if you're not planning to buy for a few months, is to get pre-approved. Here's why. Rates are expected to drop slightly later this year. Once that happens, demand is going to spike. There's going to be a lot of deals on the market. And if you're already pre-approved, it's going to make it a lot easier, especially if you have a clear strategy in place. You're going to be in a position to make a strong offer before the competition heats up. And if you're a seller, the main thing right now is to price it right from day one. The days of throwing your home on the market way above current market value and expecting to get, 30 offers, 40,000 above what the property is actually worth are over. That does not exist anymore. Working with an agent who actually knows how to price and market your home effectively is going to be critical. So do not just expect to get way over market value for your home. Be sure to price correctly. Now for investors, it is super important to keep a close eye on rentals and foreclosure trends. The rise in distressed properties is growing. This could create some serious opportunities for high cash flow, but you have to be ready to act. So as I mentioned, get your pre-approval ready. That's good for 3 months usually. And if you need to extend it, it's just a couple tweaks. And bottom line is that the market is shifting. People who are prepared are going to be the ones who win and create a real estate portfolio that's going to be in their family for generations. So get your plan in place now before the window closes. And here's the bottom line. The housing market is shifting fast, both nationally and right here locally in Charlotte and Fort Mill and Rock Hill, South Carolina, Lake Wylie, Lake Norman. And I want you to pause right now, because if you are thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you need to be prepared. Timing matters more than ever right now, and having the right strategy is key. Now, once again, I work with buyers, sellers, and investors every single day who are navigating this market and winning, and I would love to help you too. So pause, because I want you to give me a call or shoot me a text via the number on the screen in front of you right now, and reach out to me today. You can call me or text me at that number. It is my cell phone. It actually is me. It's not a CRM or a office line or whatever. It's actually my phone, and I'm happy to help you and your family on your journey of building generational wealth, a real estate portfolio that will grow and bring you passive income for years. Help investors do that every single day, and I want to help you on your journey. So let's figure out the plan that is right for you so you can take advantage of all these great opportunities ahead, navigate the dips and the highs and the lows in the market, and figure out what's best for you. Now, lastly, like this video, please. Push the little thumbs up button. It doesn't cost you anything. Also doesn't cost you anything to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. It would mean the world to us. My wife and I created this channel to help people like you buy, sell, and invest in the world. It doesn't have to be locally to us. We talk about money, finance, real estate. We do property tours, city vlog tours. We do market updates like this one. We talk about differences between different markets. What else do we talk about? Local events. We talk about highlight local businesses, pretty much anything and everything. And we would love it if you joined our journey. If you don't want to, get a notification every time we post a video, you can turn off notifications. Or if you do want to get a notification every time we post a new video, which is twice a week right now, 3 to 4 shorts a week, you can turn on notifications. So Overall, friends, I thank you so much for watching today and being a part of this video. Hope this market update was valuable to you. And if you have any questions, seriously, call me on the phone number on the screen. Shoot me a text. You're not going to bother me. I have people reaching out all the time. I love showing homes to people from YouTube. It's so cool to watch, someone watching me on a screen turn into something in real life. So I would love if you were the next one that does that. Now, we'll see you in the next video. Have a blessed day. And I cannot wait to show you around our town very soon.